But fast forwarding to this one, man, obviously, Mean Machine, you guys helped him as far as when he turned pro. I know he trained with you guys back in Oxnard. There was a good relationship built with them. He's a two-time Olympian. And when you think of a fighter, man, as far as Vergil Ortiz, he's a young, hungry lion. 17-0, 17 knockouts. Not many people want to fight him, man. He's one of the most avoided fighters in the sport of boxing. And no fault to him, But Mean Machine could have went anywhere. He was a free agent, got released by Top Rank, could have went with DAZN Matchroom, probably got a fight with PBC, but he wanted Vergil Ortiz. What does that say about him as a fighter and as a warrior?
Yeah, we worked with, like you said, Egidijus for the first, I want to say, 4 or 5 years of his career.
Wow.
When we were in Oxnard, we knew he's down to fight anyone. He's not afraid of anyone. Like you said, his accolades speak for themselves. 2-time Olympian. He fought Terrence Crawford, dropped Terrence Crawford. They didn't count it, but he actually dropped Terrence Crawford in that fight. And like you said, he was a free agent. He could have gone and signed anywhere, maybe fought some easier opponents, but he went straight for Vergil, and that says a lot about him. The same for Joshua Franco's fight. The first fight when he fought Maloney he put a beating on him. He had a ruptured eardrum. He had a broken nose. He had I know he said something with his body, because we saw him as soon as we walked out of the ring and we walked backstage, because they had the whole setup for the bubble. As soon as we walked out of it, he was throwing up like crazy nonstop right after the first fight. So Josh put a beating on him. So the fact that he took the rematch and he's taking the third one says a lot about him too.
That's right.
There are 2 guys, Egidijus and Maloney, that are willing to fight anyone and willing to do whatever it takes to get to that championship level. Maloney has already been a world champ. Egidijus fought for a world title, and he wants to get back to that. He knows he has to go through guys like Vergil and to get back to that position, to fight maybe a Terrence Crawford or maybe one of the other world champs at welterweight. But it just shows you what those guys are all about.
When we in an earlier interview with Egidijus Kavaliauskas, he mentioned that he doesn't see this fight going past 12 rounds. He doesn't see it going the distance, and he's going for the early knockout. And I asked him earlier today when I interviewed him, when he thinks of Vergil Ortiz, what does he think about one of the first words that came out of his mouth was war. He expects a war. How do you prepare, a fighter like Ortiz to, use your boxing skills, also use your power, and also, set the traps and know exactly, what to do when you're facing a fighter like Kavaliauskas?
Someone like Vergil, like you said, whenever somebody thinks about him, they think power punches. They think he's gonna go just walk straight in and try to knock guys out. But we've seen him in the gym with different types of sparring partners. He has some of the best IQ in boxing too, as well as his power and his aggression and stuff. But they're gonna see on Saturday night that yes, he could bang with guys like Egidijus, but if he wants to, he could keep it on the outside, use his jab and use his defense and his ring IQ, and set, like you said, set traps, and then once he sees an opening, then he'll attack, and then he will go for the KO. But Egidijus is right. This is a fight that nobody would bet that it would go 12 rounds. Both guys have power in both hands. And their aggression is like their number one thing. They want to go out there and put a beating on their opponent. So Egidijus is right. They don't expect this fight to go the distance.
Do you feel, in your opinion, right? Obviously, you can't